Welcome, everybody, to CVTV. And today we're welcoming a very special guest. Joining us from Nokia in particular, we have the Fixed Wireless Access, FWA, Business Development Leader. His name, Benny Fallica. How you doing today, Benny? Did I get the name right?
You got the name right.
All
Perfect.
right.
Thanks for having me here.
Of course. Yeah, I'm excited. So I think a lot of people know the name Nokia. But today we're going to talk a little bit about recent market developments, specifically in fixed wireless access. I guess to start off, Benny, if you could tell us a little bit about Nokia, kind of the background there.
Yeah, of course. I always like to start the presentation of my company by saying we're not the company that used to make phones, although everybody recognizes us for that. Also, the logo has slightly changed. We are a market leader and as a telecom equipment vendor, which span across different levels. Which include, of course, mobile radio access network, but also we have a strong IP and routing business line, as well as fiber within our fixed network group.
All right. It sounds like a lot of really exciting things kind of going on there. In your opinion, how has the role of FWA kind of evolved from being more of a rural only solution to addressing kind of urban broadband needs? Maybe some examples about how operators are kind of leveraging the flexibility that FWA offers.
Yeah, of course. Historically, we have seen FWA typically as a complementary solution where areas like, where wireline infrastructure was not viable. So typically in rural areas. But now we are seeing that it can also be a competitive option in metropolitan regions offering lower cost broadband alternative. And one example that comes to my mind is T-Mobile in the US, of course. They have effectively used FWA to penetrate urban markets. They provided cost-effective broadband services. And today, they are able to serve over 6 million subscribers. So FWA is definitely very flexible. And that flexibility is a game changer because it enables operator to rapidly tap into new market, expand their service offering, and like in the case of T-Mobile, even challenging providers that have existing wireline or fixed asset.
So the broadband market in the US, it's seen a lot of significant shifts recently. How is FWA kind of impacting the role of traditional cable providers? What does that growth trajectory kind of look like?
Yeah, fixed wireless access definitely has experienced an explosive growth in the US. Just to put some numbers, we saw that subscribers increased nearly tenfold since 2021, which was the year where we have seen the first 5G fixed wireless access network being available. Of course, major players, T-Mobile, Verizon, they kind of reflect a significant migration of customer away from cable providers. And in fact, if we look at for example, this year, at the second quarter, just in 3 months, FWA in the US has added over 1 million subscribers. But at the same time, cable providers lost nearly 500,000 during the same period. So this is indicative that now cable providers are facing new competition that they didn't consider in the past. Now, this might be just temporary, but it is happening. So cable providers need to do something about it. The reason, I think, is mostly because consumers, of course, are favoring cost-effective solutions. As long as they have a minimum guarantee services, they might choose more expensive cable subscription, even in what we consider well-served areas.
All right, fantastic. So what sort of factors are kind of driving the success of FWA in the broadband market? Maybe cost or customer satisfaction, or are there other considerations to look at?
I consider three critical success factors for the FWA
Okay.
adoption, at least based on my experience in the field. And I would say they are affordability, adequate performance, and customer satisfaction. FWA services are priced significantly lower than, for example, traditional cable subscription, typically around $50 a month. So they're very attractive for those cost-sensitive consumers. Now, of course, FWA speeds might not match fiber, but typically they are sufficient for your average household needs. Think, what do they need? Streaming, teleworking, and that's what FWA can serve very successfully. Moreover, high Net Promoter Score, the famous NPS, among FWA providers highlights very strong customer satisfaction. So a stellar customer service helps driving adoption, and it helps to build a loyal customer base and compete effectively with fiber and cable providers.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, I do know that low Earth orbit LEO satellite services, for example, like Starlink, they're often seen as a competitor to terrestrial broadband solutions. How does FWA compare to satellite internet in terms of those areas?
Well, I believe that the satellite mission is not really to replace any terrestrial communication infrastructure, but it's more like supplement them and enhance them in a way.
Okay.
And they do offer that missing link in areas where there is no terrestrial communication infrastructure present. So rural, deep rural, sometimes very remote areas. And in that, satellite offers definitely a superior coverage to any other terrestrial communication, fixed wireless or wireline. Now, there is no doubt also that satellite network results in being a little bit more expensive to deploy, maintain, and upgrade than fixed wireless access network. But potentially, they could be cheaper than building fiber in certain remote areas.
Really great stuff, Benny. Definitely a whole lot to think about there. Now, if people want more information, where can they go?
Yeah, sure. Our website, nokia.com, can definitely guide them through a lot of information regarding our product portfolio. And they can always reach out to me, Benny Fallica, on LinkedIn. I will be happy to accept and starting any conversation on the topic.
Well, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
Of course. And while you guys are online checking out Nokia and all the great stuff that they have going on in fixed wireless access, don't forget to also visit channelvisionmag.com. On there, you can find on-demand versions of CVTVs like this one, as well as podcasts and webinars and white papers, and just lots of great on-demand content right there on the website on channelvisionmag.com. Don't forget to also like and subscribe if you like what you hear. Be sure to check us out in the future. And on behalf of our good friends at Nokia, this has been CVTV. Take care.